You are welcome to Python Basics Masterclass. In this training, I'm going to introduce you to Python programming in an easy and fun way. And I assure you that you are going to learn all the nitty-gritty of Python programming. And in this section, I will take you through what is Python, who uses Python, why will you need Python at all, and what you can do with Python programming. This is a journey of lifetime experience that I'm going to take you through, and I'm not boasting, but I promise you that you are going to love this training and you are going to learn a lot. You are going to learn a lot of things in Python programming that will empower you to do anything you want with Python. Now let's continue. But before we continue, I want to introduce myself. I am Peter Ajewole. I'm an engineer, a software engineer. For the past 5 years, I've been developing web applications, mobile apps, and desktop applications for people and for various projects. That is me. Now let's start with Python. What is Python? Well, it's not about snake, because when you mention Python, what comes to many people's mind is a reptile, a snake. And in some part of this world, especially Africa here, some people may try to go spiritual and think, oh, it's about marine spirit, it's about that, it's about this. No. The creator of Python programming language named the program after a BBC program called Monty Python. I will talk about that later. But Python is just like any other programming language, like Java, like C++, like C# or PHP. It's just a programming language that we use to give instructions to a computer to perform a specific function. So that is what you are going to do in this training. You are going to learn the lexicology, the syntax, the semantics of Python. You will just, the way you learn a language, like English language. So you are going to learn what makes up a program in Python, and by the time you are comfortable with the semantics and the syntax, you can be able to do anything you want with the language. So in summary, Python is not about snake, it's a programming language. It's a programming language created by Guido van Rossum in the 1980s. You can compare Python with programming languages like C, C++, Java, and C#. And I want to tell you that Python has equal power and functionality like Java, and it can do amazing things that C++ can do. But yet, it's a simple programming language, and that makes it peculiar. That makes it to stand out. It's powerful, but at the same time simple. And whether you are a beginner programmer, or you don't even know anything about programming, or you are advanced, this journey of learning Python is going to be of interest to you, because Python is so accessible to beginners, and it allows people to tackle interesting problems more quickly than other languages like Java or C++ that have a very steep learning curve. If you want to write a block of code in Python, you can use 10 lines to solve a particular task, but in Java or C++, it may take you 50 lines. That is the truth. So Python is more concise, It's easier, it's simple, easy to learn, easy to read. So that is Python programming. And in Python, we place emphasis on code readability and simplicity. When you write your program in Python, it's like you are writing English language, because the code resembles English language, which computers cannot understand. So in that case, because computer cannot understand Python, because the code is mostly, more or less like English. So we need something that would interpret your code in Python and make a computer to understand it. You know that computers understand binary language 0 and 1. These are electrical signals on and off. And so when you write your code in Python, you need an interpreter to change the code to the one that computer can understand. So in that case, Python is a high-level language, just like Java, C++ are also high-level languages. And your computer understands low-level language called machine language or binary number. So in that case, you will have to install a Python interpreter. So that means Python is an interpreted language. Unlike C++ or Java, they are compiled language. So there is a compiler that compiles them. A compiler takes the whole code at once and change it to machine language. But Python codes are interpreted. The interpreter takes it line by line. So it doesn't read the code at once and compile it. That is why you can write Python code in a command line and get a result immediately. But Java and C++, you have to write the code. The compiler will have to compile all the code at once and turn it to a machine language. And if you make changes to your code in Java or C++, it has to be recompiled again. And that is why Python can be a little bit better in this respect. It's an interpreted language. And despite all the reptile icons in the Python world, I mentioned it earlier, that Python creator Guido, he named it after BBC comedy series called Monty Python's Flying Circus. So that is my brief introduction to Python programming. Now, who uses Python? Let's start with Google. Google makes use of Python in their web search system. Funnily enough, they employ the creator of Python, Guido Varuzom himself, happened to work with them. And YouTube, as you know, is a video sharing application, is majorly written in Python. If you know what is called BitTorrent, it's a program that allows you to share file on the internet, allows you to download files. It's written in Python. And the Google App Engine make use of Python as its application language. There are a lot of programs that are based on Python. Even Uber uses Python. Even PayPal uses Python. These are programs we all know, and they are very popular, and they all use Python to develop them. Now, if you are familiar with 3D modeling and animation, there is a program called Maya, and it is there are some cartoons like Toy Story, like Tom and Jerry. Most of them are written with Maya, and Maya has an API which is based on Python. So the ICT giant companies like Intel, Cisco, HP, Hewlett-Packard, Seagate, Qualcomm, and IBM, they use Python for hardware testing. The same thing goes for Industrial Light and Pixar. Even financial giants like JP Morgan Chase, Citadel, they use Python for financial market forecasting. NASA, that's American Space Agency, also use Python for their scientific programming task. The list is endless. I don't want to bore you or waste too much time, but you can see that many ICT companies, many organizations, many fintechs make use of Python in their day-to-day operation. And before I stop this session, you too can learn this program and build an app that we talk much about, like all these programs. And I want to welcome you to the world of Python programming. In this training, you will learn a lot that will empower you to build desktop app, data science project, even web application that can serve as means of income or help you to solve a particular task in your business or your scientific work. I want to thank you for listening. See you in the next video. In the next video, I will talk about what you can do. Why you need to learn Python and what you can do with Python programming. Thank you for listening.